Hello everyone, Rare Model Reviews here, and today we have the S.H.Figuarts Gamma 1. Now, this of course being an action figure, not a model kit. Everything you're looking at here was straight out of the box. I only had to put apart a few pieces here, and that would be the cape, or I guess technically that's one piece. But one thing I also wanted to mention, besides the fact that this thing is just expertly crafted and colored, so of course, that means you don't have to do anything with this figure. You just put it in the pose and have some fun with it. Now, this thing actually has pretty good build quality as well. So if you want it, or rather your kid, I should say, or whoever you're trying to give this to, they can indeed use this as a traditional action figure and play around with this thing, have them beat up some Super Saiyans and what have you. But getting straight on to it, this is an additional piece that, or should I say optional piece you could put in exchange for the arms. So if you want to do a more perfected cross arms pose, this is what you would turn to. My only gripe about this thing, however, is the fact that, as you can see right here with the arm, this doesn't connect in as well as the normal arm does. It, for reference, I'll show it later, but actually now I can show it now. Turles, he comes with a crossed arm additional piece as well. And Turles, as you can see, his fits in just fine. There's no seams, no gaps. Like I said before, it goes in just fine. Whereas with Gamma here, like, it took me a while to even get this thing to hold up. Like, it holds on, but I couldn't get this thing in flush. So that's one gripe I have about these cross arm pieces. I personally think he could pull one off without it just fine. I'll shut it off later. But since I already kind of showed them off here, I might as well just go ahead and do a size comparison now. So I actually probably could have gotten my Super Saiyan 2 Goku, because as I was recording this video, I just got those in. But maybe that's something I'll show off with the next guy, or when I actually get around to reviewing Goku actually. But so as you can see, we have curling hair. He's just towered over buddies too. Whereas these others, Turles and Gamma 1, they both are about the same size. Although Turles looks a little bit bigger because his hair. But I mean, technically I think Gamma 1's taller. Now that I'm looking at it, he more or less goes to around this from just the head alone, not the little fin. But that's it for the size comparisons. These guys are irrelevant. And I might as well just go ahead and try to get this off out of the way now. So this is going to be an Chinese action base here. I use these on all the rest of my figures, and as you can see, just kind of hugs onto him around the waist, and he holds up just fine. It's kind of crooked, but if you want to do any aerial poses, which is a must for any kind of Dragon Ball figure, this is something you want to pick up. Bandai has a Action Base 6, I believe they released recently, so that is another option as well if you want to get off some aerial poses with these guys. But we are now going to be going into some articulation. But first, to do that, we are going to remove these additional arm pieces here. And then we're going to replace his arms. Now, one thing I want to mention, a lot of these figure art figures is they all have like kind of these little pegs or whatever you want to call them that you would have to put on, take off and all that to switch out the hands and all that. So just be careful of those. Yeah, you already seen it, but this gun here is removable from this holster, and I actually might as well show it off a bit better. So as you see, it's kind of undetailed. It's just kind of there that's fitting the holster, and that's really it. Shows off what needs to be showed, but I'll get into that a little later. So we're gonna start off with the head here. Head can 360, is a little rough, but I mean, I don't think his head's supposed to be spinning around extra side. I don't think I've ever moved his, ooh, I wonder why I was moving so much. I was gonna say he can move his neck down really far, but actually, well, you know, I might as well. This thing has an additional head, so we're gonna replace it with another one. But yeah, it still can move down pretty well though. I'll say about right here before it wants to start coming off. As you can see, 360 some side to side. Can't, no, actually you can look up pretty decent, so that'd be good for flying poses. The cape here, when you get this guy in a box, the cape is gonna be off. You have to connect the cape, but as you can see here, it could go side to side, go up about here. You just gotta be careful. A lot of these things, just kind of fill it out. Don't force anything on these because they'll something will pop off, and you don't want that to snap off. So again, be careful. Yeah, that's what I say. The build quality and like just the overall feel of this thing is really good. Like this, all the like material on this thing is like for the waist here, it's like the soft, rubbery type of material. The cape is hard though, but the torso below, I guess you kind of say above the waist actually. You see, it has a bit of a wiggle. Crazy back bend there. So again, this will really help with flying poses. You position this thing right, and you can do a lot with this. You can't really bend down much, but you do have the combination of the head and just overall moving down below the waist. So, or I guess that's kind of the legs really. But as you can see, he can get some decent pulls off like that. The legs also have this strange mechanism where you kind of wiggle them side to side like so. So that's pretty cool. I already kind of got into the legs a little bit, so they can move up about right here. I wouldn't say they get hindered by this front flap. This is literally just how much the legs can move forward and then back. And of course, you kick the leg up like that, it's double jointed. And as you can see, the ankle can move pretty good as well. And the toe is separate as well. Spin around 360. And then the leg here also could move 360. So again, just a lot of crazy, goofy, silly poses you could do just because this articulation, or you get to really serious dynamic ones. This thing is not hindered by articulation at all. Except that the arms only move about right here. But of course you can still move them 360, and then this little joint here under it is, again, you can move 360. So you could kind of finagle this thing and get pretty much any pose you want regardless. All about, it might look a little unnatural. Arms are on this like swivel, I guess you call that. I wouldn't say ball joint. So again, perfect posability in the arms, and I promised it, but as you can see, the arms could move out pretty far forward. And as you can see, like, I guess it doesn't look perfect. I will say that much, but again, you can still pull off a cross arms pose even without that additional piece. So that's just something to keep in mind. Of course, if I were to change at the hands to some open palm hands, that'd look even better. But I suppose that's just about it for articulation. I don't think I missed anything. If I missed anything, hopefully I'll kind of remind myself later on when we're playing around with this thing. But that's really it. So as you saw, again, this thing has multiple different heads. So you kind of have this frowning one here. I don't know what you call this one. He looks a little derpy. His mouth's like sort of open. But you of course have this grinning or frowning? I don't know. Kind of a serious looking face, I should say. You have this weird, kind of looks like he's surprised or something. I said it before in the unboxing, but I haven't watched the movies yet. I actually probably should have tried to before this review, but that kind of looks like a face he might have made when he got killed or something, so no one spoil the comments if that's true. And then, of course, you have this yelling face, I guess you call that. So you already saw it earlier, but the process to doing so is to literally yank off the head without too much force, of course. And then you'll notice there's like a little, if you can see that in there, so dark. There's a bit of a tab and a hole there that you line up to put the head in. And you guys saw for a second there, kind of got a bit of a look at the inside the neck, explain why this thing is so posable and all that. But before I get into the rest of his stuff, I kind of want to bring attention to one of the accessories this thing comes with. Now, this is for the Super Saiyan Gohan, I'm sorry, the Gohan Super Hero version, not the Gohan Sun Beast they have in P-Banda right now. That one, I do not believe is compatible with this extra parts. So basically this is for the Super Saiyan effect, because I'm pretty sure there's no actual Super Saiyan superhero Gohan. So you want to switch out the head on that figure with this one here, And then he has additional little head pieces that you switch out with this one, much like him, kind of. So you, of course, have one of him yelling, kind of like he's charging up, and then just a serious look. And I kind of mentioned this earlier on my unboxes when I got this guy out. I'm sorry, when I got the Super Saiyan 2 Goku, which I will review soon. But there's like no smirk for these, so I guess that's kind of something they chose not to do because Gohan doesn't really smirk when he's Super Saiyan, but anywho. So, as you guys seen earlier, this gun in the holster here is removable. So you just take that out. And then you have an additional version here, which has that little nice shark face look to it. Again, everything here is painted straight out of the box. I couldn't see much of a reason for you to need to paint anything on this figure. Now he has 2 holding hands. So, although it kind of wouldn't make too much sense to hold it on the left hand, you can do so. His brother also has a little blaster there as well. So if you wanted, you could have him hold his brothers as well. I'm pretty sure I tested that they both work. I don't have him around right now. I'll bring him out, well, when I review him, and then I'll come have Gamma 1 back out for comparisons and all that, so you kind of see what differs for them and the height and all that. So there you go. So you kind of muscle that thing in, and voila, now he has a blaster. So of course, if you're curious, you can kind of put it in a little bit, but it's not going to actually stay in. Again, you need this one to actually fit in the holster, but you can, as you can see, kind of have it posed as if he just took it out, but it's still in his hand and all that. Although you could do that with the normal one, but anywho. So the other accessories this thing comes with are these karate chop hands. I'm not going to put those in because I don't really see much of a need to. It's just the fact that you know that there's enough, in my opinion. And then you have these hands here. I guess you could call these relaxed hands, but they, in my opinion, look more like he's charging up a ki blast or something. Again, I didn't see the movie, so I don't know if these guys can shoot ki blast as well as shooting this blaster, but yeah. I believe that's it. I don't think there's anything else I really need to go over here, but if you couldn't tell already, I have a high opinion of all these figure arts. I took a chance on these things with Krillin, and thankfully I enjoyed Krillin very much, so I immediately went ahead and got Turles, and I have now Gamma 1 and 2, and like I said, Super Saiyan 2 Goku. That one's a special edition that has with the halo effect. I'm pretty sure there's a standard version. I have quote unquote Good Boo. I personally call him Fat Boo, I'm sorry. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any other ones right now, but I have more of these things coming in. I don't want to spoil what they are, but those ones I'm really looking forward to. More bad guys, I'll give you a little tease. But again, this thing looks great, poses great. I don't really have any huge complaints about this thing, but except, like I said, the crossed arm piece, I'm not much of a fan of that one. I will say that they look a little better than Turles's. Turles's fits in better, but it looks a little frumpy when you look at it at the wrong angles and all that. But again, just like, I originally, when I first seen these guys, I'm like, what the heck are these? But after kind of just looking at pictures of these things online, and then of course getting it myself, it's actually definitely kind of making me slap myself in the head for not going out watching this thing, especially since there was a showing of the movie around my area, and I kind of just passed up on it. Not because I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball Z, of course I am. I wouldn't own this if I wasn't, but I kind of didn't feel like it. But again, I don't think you could go wrong with these things. They pose great, like I said, look great. Plenty of accessories. Again, I haven't seen the movie, but it looks like he has everything you'd expect to me, 4.5. So just like, if you're a fan of him, the movie, or you think he just looks cool, I don't see any reason for you not to pick him up. I can't say that because, again, this is a Bandai exclusive. It's going to be a little hard to find, especially for retail price, which I believe is around 70 bucks. All these figures are about 70 bucks, give or take. So, like I said, pick this guy up if you're interested. Enough said. So this has been Rare Model Reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. and stay tuned for the next review.